We have so much to get to on this show, but first, let me let you guys know if you missed any of our previous shows back with any of the house guests from this season or any of the past 6 seasons, you can check all of our content out at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. And if you're watching this in the future, you should have been watching us doing it live over on YouNow. So make sure you become a fan over there so that you're alerted every time we go live. You can hang out in the chat, ask your questions. Of course, we still have more Big Brother house guests coming on this week. Not sure who tomorrow yet, though, so stay tuned. This is why you need to become a fan on YouNow, which is totally free. Waiting for one of them to message me back. But Thursday will be our Amazing Race show, and of course, Monday is our Drag Race finale show. If you want to help support all of our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. Patrons get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows, and of course, the after shows with the house guests, like Cory. Of course, you could support us for free by just thumbsing up and subscribing, hitting that bell on YouTube. 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes is really helpful too. Or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, start at yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. You don't pay any more, and it really helps support our shows. That being said, let's get to the lady you all want to hear from. It's Cory! Hi, Cory. How you doing?
I am good. How are you?
How is Wi-Fi in Canada?
Ooh. My Wi-Fi always tends to go like in and out. We have a modem that I could unplug and plug back in, but that would take forever.
It's totally fine, Cory. Everyone is so excited and happy to have you here. I want to start jumping into your questions. And I kind of want to just present it to you because, you got this question in kind of a whole bunch of different ways. So basically, I think what a lot of people want to know to start with was, when you went into jury, did you feel like you knew you would vote for Anthony or against Anthony? And then what kind of changed your mind to you not voting for Anthony?
So when I left, I was Team Anthony all the way. As Ika had put, my pom-poms were out. This was because I thought that after I left the house, I thought Anthony was going to burn it down because really the Pretty Boys, I had no idea about this Pretty Boys thing that was going on in the house. However, it did change once I got more information, and really ultimately at the end of it, Dane played a better game. He really did. If you're comparing socially, Anthony had a better social game. Okay. However, it goes across the board, right?
Right. So, like, when you say you got more information, do you mean specifically, like, learning that, Dane won more competitions? Or do you feel like anybody had more influence? I don't want to say influence over you. I know it was your decision. But did conversations with anyone in jury kind of sway you more to, like, oh, Anthony was playing me this whole time type of a deal?
I would say once Mark came in and gave us the play-by-play of like every week, and as he so eloquently put, the Pretty Boy stamp on everyone leaving, I kind of realized really how masterful these 4 boys were, and they were working really together. And so once I kind of got like that snapshot of Dane as well, I don't know if I answered the question, but
no, you did, and it, like I said, you got it from so many people. For example, Kayla over on Twitter, I would like to know what played into her decision to voting for Dane. I see you got it from Kimberly. It's like, so you got that from a lot of people. I was just trying to figure out, get more into your head on that one about, how you voted. Now, obviously, we all loved how you presented it. All the Big Brother fans loved you being up there, being like, finesse me, Anthony.
I'm so angry. Because I will say the finesse was when Mark came into the house, they were talking about like the conversations that the four of them would have. And
Right.
so really like Dane had Esty and Adam had Sam. And so Anthony was saying like, well, I've got Cory. And he would say, well, don't worry, I'll convince Cory. Let me finesse her. Because at one point I did kind of catch on to Dane. Like when I went into my pipe dreams, HOH,
Right.
Dane was my number one target. And I told Anthony all of that, right? And so he says, don't worry. And Dane was petrified after I won HOH that week.
Right.
And so he says, don't worry, I'm going to finesse Cory. And as a strong, independent woman, the idea of being finessed, I'm so angry. So I knew I was going to work that in.
I mean, and I think a lot of people like in the YR community, we love a strong woman player. I think for the most part, we're always rooting for like, we want a woman to win this game.
Yeah.
I think we're so sick of the guys always winning.
And it was very dominated by the men.
It was definitely dominated by the men. Now, I will say this, in Anthony's defense, let me ask you this first, because I know a lot of people want to know this as well. Yeah. Have you watched any of the show back yet?
I've watched some.
Okay.
I did watch my HOH. Okay. I watched that one just because I wanted to see how they showed it.
Right.
And yeah, so it very much looked like Anthony and Dane, more so Anthony, were like completely manipulating me that week. But my trust with Anthony just came from weeks and weeks of trust before that. And I truly believed, even after I was so angry with him, is that he was loyal to me. He really was. But he was just a little more loyal to the pretty boys.
I mean, here's the thing. It's such a fine line, I think, because what really is the difference? Like when people say Anthony controlled your HOH, but if it's true that you two are working together and as close as you believed you were in the game, that's not a negative in your column. That's you working with the person who was your number two to get you to the end of the game. So I don't really see that as a bad thing. Now, I will say, Anthony did, after you were evicted, he did kind of go in hard on Kira and blow up their game and then went right upstairs and went, that was for you, Cory.
Oh, did he?
Yes. If you've heard of the big like kitchen fight and kitchen blowout, right, when that ended, he walked right upstairs, cameras weren't on him, but we still had audio, and you just heard him go, that was for you, Cory. So he had your back in that moment. I knew Anthony would have, he did. He fought tooth and nail for me. And I saw that. It was that the element of betrayal was everything that I had told to him about Dane and why I was suspecting Dane for coming after me, which everything I had was correct. I told him all that, and he relayed it all to Dane. So that when I had a conversation with Dane, which was not too long after the pipe dreams, in one take, Dane addressed all of my concerns. And then and Kira and Sam, they were flip-flopping and lying all week to me. So I was thinking, well, if they're lying to me and Dane could do it all in one take, he must be telling the truth, right? Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It is. I mean, were you a fan of Big Brother before this?
I was, yes.
So have you watched all of Big Brother Canada's? Have you watched any of our Big Brothers?
I've watched all the Big Brother Canadas.
Okay.
I've watched quite a few of the American seasons. However, I don't watch live feeds.
Okay.
I don't, yeah.
Well, then, as I'm sure you're aware now after watching some of the show back, it's two totally different things. There's what actually happened on the feeds and the storylines they have to create.
Yeah.
So the feeds definitely are fun. Well, my point is, because I wanted to start with this from Lost in Concruise, going back to the beginning of your game, says, when you were told that you had to make 3 final 2 deals or risk being evicted, like, what was your thought at that moment? Did you think my game's over here?
Well, because historically, I was saying this in a couple interviews, that is what destroys games. Like people that go too hard. No, I basically have to go balls out in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they told me probably about 5 minutes before I walked in the house.
Right.
So as I was standing at the door waiting for it to open, I was like, okay, here's the game plan. You know nothing about this game, right? Because it would make sense for someone who doesn't understand the game to do something like that and just be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then find the people who, I hate to say the word, but vulnerable. Who was on the block? Who was an outcast? Who was isolated? Who's going on the block? People who are going to need allies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You thought about that really well, and I had an even better plan for you.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved my plan for you on Twitter. Here's what I would have done in your situation. Because all they said, or all that, we saw that was said to you was, you just have to make a final 2 deal. Great. So I would have went into that house and I would have
been... With a handshake.
Sure, with a handshake. I would have went into that house and I would have gotten drunk. And I would have been like, final 2 deal, final 2. And I would have just done it in front of everybody so that everybody could have seen it. So it wouldn't have been like, nothing would have gotten back. Like, did you hear that Cory went in and made a final 2 deal? No, I would have did it with everybody, handshake. And then the next morning, I would have just went, I don't know what happened, but clearly I cannot drink alcohol in this game. Done.
That would be a very good plan if alcohol were available.
Okay, now I did hear that. I know that was the twist to this, is that they didn't give you guys alcohol. So, apparently, soda makes you crazy.
Like it.
Too much sugar, Cory. I had too much sugar. I'm drunk on sugar. Okay, so then from that, Cindy wants to know, or actually, I want to take this from Erin first. Did your secret mission cause you to change up your strategy at all? And if so, in what ways? So, yeah.
I'm going to say I wanted to do a little bit of observing first to figure out which relationships I wanted to build. So I had to do that like full tilt. And I really didn't think about saying that I knew the game because so many people go into this game knowing the game. So that was definitely a change. I was like, I need to play dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Cindy wants to know if you could, Cindy 1981 wants to know if you could have kept one of your final 2 deals, which one would you have wanted to make your official final 2 deal? It's a tongue twister.
Oh, Damien, hands down.
Yes.
Hands down. Although, did anybody see like when he took it away? He took it back.
We did not see, but we ended up hearing that, I think, on the Damien, or maybe we did see it. I forget. It was so early. But yeah, Damien said that. Damien was like, not for nothing. Cory didn't do it because I took it back the next day. We were like,
I did do it. I got that handshake out of him.
That's true. I guess that's true. It wasn't, they can't take it back. You just had to get them to say the words and shake the hand. So true. True. You did do it, Damien, another twist person. Were you surprised? I think New Jersey girl wanted to know, were you surprised learning at all the powers that Canada also gave to Damien this season?
Like, oh my, he knew so much. I just wish that he had confided in me in that stuff, because Damien and I, we were close in the house, but there was still a little bit of that limitation with exactly what we were going to say in the game. Right. Damien quite often was very good at not really saying much about the game. And he was starting to open up a little bit more, but then as the game started to get crazier, we kind of drifted a little bit in that sense.
Right.
I saw him with SD quite a bit, so I kind of wanted to watch what I said because I wanted to make sure it didn't get back to her.
Mm-hmm.
So if he had have done that with me, and I don't know. I feel like things could have been different because I would have trusted him. I would have.
Yeah. Courtney J wants to know, Dane wasn't happy with you coming into the game late. Do
Oh,
you
no.
feel like he was against you right from the beginning? So could you tell that he was right, against you from the start?
I don't know if I would say against. I knew he wasn't warming up to me,
Okay.
right? Like we got along personally, but there wasn't that instant connection that I did have with a lot of people like Anthony.
Mhm.
Honestly, the reason why I really brought Dane in was because I trusted Anthony's judgment on it. He says, "Man, like I'm really close with Dane. Like
Mhm.
he's my boy. Like he because like we're working so closely together, he wants to work with you." And so that like we had a conversations about the three of us working together like well before my HOH.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I trusted Dane, and that's why I was kind of thrown off that he was saying my name before. And but once I but all the pieces laid out that it was Dane, and Dane was acting crazy the week before my HOH, like
Right.
nuts.
Yes, he was definitely acting a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Teresa Lowe wants to know, what was the fear in the house about forming any type of a girls' alliance? So, I mean, I'll ask it to you like this. Do you feel like there was a hesitance to making a girls' alliance in this house?
Well, I saw some footage of like girls talking about getting together.
Right?
Now, I remember Kiki and Esty sat down with me once and they said, "There's a boys' alliance."
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they said. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't say who, they didn't say how many, like they had nothing to support this. They didn't say about like this is what we know, this is what someone told me. So really, that's not information to me. Like if you want to extend trust to me, so I extend it to you, and we talk about being alliance, you got to give me more than that. Those are the only two girls that ever talked to me about a boys' alliance. No one else talked to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you kind of have this from a lot of people too. If you could have made your own alliance, so we know that there was the Pretty Boys alliance. If you could have made your own alliance in this house with, let's say, 4 people, who would you have wanted to be your 4 people?
Could it
And
be anyone?
it could be anyone, and I'm saying, assuming that they're going to be loyal to you. Like you had a crystal ball, you knew these people would be loyal to you. Who would you have wanted in a 4-person alliance going through this game with you?
I would have definitely had Sam. I would have.
Okay.
For sure. Hands down. I would have worked with Sam. I would have really liked to have worked with Chelsea
Mm-hmm.
more, but it's just with me coming in late. It sucks. Uh, but the thing is like you need people who are going to win those physicals, right? Because
Right.
if I win one, I need to make sure that I have someone that can do it the next week. So I feel like one of the, like, Adam or Dane, really.
Oh, no, that would definitely
Yeah.
be a good choice. Well, now, you said Sam. I see Kayla in chat is asking, Cory, were you surprised when you learned out that Sam really did have your back?
I was. Well, and this is when I knew is when Dane voted my ass out. I said, Sam was right.
You were trying to like get to the bottom of who wanted to backdoor you and who was lying. Everybody is lying and you don't know who's telling the truth. I can't imagine how hard that is.
It was in.
I used to love I mean, obviously I still love Big Brother, but it's weird as I get older in life. I'm just like, I watch it and I'm like, God, these people can lie really easily to
I
other
know.
people's faces. Like, no problem. It's freaky.
Like I felt like I was not at that level.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Oh yeah, we're good. Can you still hear me?
We're
See
good.
me? Okay.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Okay, good. Erin BB Can Team Cory. She even put Team Cory in her name.
I like it.
And you got this from a lot of people as well. Wants to know, if Anthony wasn't in the game, who do you think would have been your number 2?
Just based off like personal connections that I had made.
Sure, whatever you want the factors to be.
Like I'm thinking about like of the games that were played. Like I would say Damien Damien or Sam?
It's always good to align with the twist, although you were a twist.
Yes.
It is always good. I mean, to have the two, like, Canadian voted twisties working together,
Yeah.
I was very surprised that there weren't more things that pushed you two together. I feel like
I know.
if I was producing that show, I'd be like, Canada loves Cory. They voted her in. They love Jamie, and they're giving him all this stuff. Let's create a competition called Cory and Damien Work Together. And
Forever.
yeah, forever. I don't know what this competition could be about, but it's gonna be a competition. If you had found out, this is from Kayla G in the chat. If you had found out for certain that the Pretty Boys were a thing, would you have tried to get them out? Do you even think it's possible? So if you knew Anthony was hands down working with these people, would you try and weaponize it or go against it?
Would I still have Anthony's loyalty? What do you know?
Won't know. Let's just say you only knew that the Pretty Boys were now a thing, and sure, then you found out Anthony was lying to you, which you did find he was lying to you. So, would you try and weaponize it, or would you want to go against it?
No, I'd go against it for sure. Yeah,
I think I would want to go against it too.
Because the thing is they're going against everybody else anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
And they're not taking me to Final Five.
Yes. Cammy Forever wants to know, were you aware that Anthony was specifically, speaking of Damien, trying to put a wedge between you and Damien to make you turn on him?
Yes. That was the only thing that I did not trust Anthony about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When he was telling me, he's like, he said, Damien's saying your name. And I looked at him and I was like, no, he's not. I said, I don't know where you get information, but no, he's not. And I remember I asked Mark once, but it was like out of the blue, so it like wasn't coming.
Right.
And I remember I'm like, has Damien ever said my name? And he goes, no. And so, and I trusted that. I don't think Damien would have gone against me.
Yeah, I don't think Damien would have either. And I think those are one of those things. So, like, you kind of knew it in your gut. And I think those are the things that I think first-time players and then second-time players, like, I think when you play the game again, if you play the game again, I think everybody ultimately knows in their gut, it's just, do I go with what I know in that moment? It's scary when you're playing for money. Yeah. And it's scary when you have to go against it. Would you play again? I know a lot of people were asking.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
I do.
This is an insane game. It is. And like the reason why I signed up for this, it wasn't for the platform. It wasn't for like the exposure or anything like that. I was telling my husband that I would have signed up for this game even if it wasn't televised.
Really?
I would have. Oh, yeah.
So you just love Big Brother.
It's like this crazy psychological experiment. And I'm the type of person, I love to push myself to extreme circumstances. That's what I do every day. It's what keeps me entertained.
Right.
And so when I started watching this game, I was like, I could do that. Yeah. So I did.
And you loved it.
And I liked it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and it shows that you are a fan of the game. But I always say, you guys will all play again if you're asked. I don't know anybody that's ever been asked to come back and been like, no. I mean, now, they could have had like, okay, I'm going to lose my job if I come back. Then, okay, then those people. But like, I don't think anyone's like, no, I don't want a chance at all that money again. No.
It would depend on where I am in my life.
True.
That would be.
True. And I think that, like, you are a player. I'll speak for myself, but I'm sure chat is also going to agree with me. You are a player I would love to see play again. Like, if I could only pick, like, 3 people from your season to play again, I would pick you. I would pick Adam because he's my boyfriend and I need to look at him more. And, I feel like I would say Sam too. And more because I think I want to, like, the women that are, like, strong women in this game, but just didn't quite make it. Now I want to see you guys go in there and just really be like, I'm not buying any bullshit anyone's telling me.
Yeah. I'd love to see Chelsea play again.
See, I would love to see Chelsea play again, too. But if I have to pick 3.
Okay. That makes me feel so good.
Yay.
Thank you.
How do you think that your game would have been different if you hadn't come in late? And by the way, it's Erin says, P.S. Eric, tell her that I love her and she made the season worth watching for me. And by the way, she watches from New Zealand.
Really?
It is not easy for her to watch.
What's her name? Erin. Thank you, Erin.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think it would have been different if you hadn't have come in late?
I wouldn't. I feel like I would have been able to see more of the boys' interactions. Because I feel like at the beginning, whereas they were so excited with the game and the adrenaline's moving through them, there would probably been more interactions to see out in the open.
Right.
Because what after like you play a little bit, you kind of like learn. You're like, okay, they get better at the hiding, they get better at the signals and all that stuff. So I feel like I might have been able to catch on that earlier. And a lot of stuff that Anthony started planting the seeds about Sam to me early in the game, right? And it took a while for me to really turn on Sam. So, and it started with, he was talking about all the stuff that she did in the first week, knowing that I wasn't there, saying that she made a bunch of final 2s, right? So he was very, very smart in getting me to go against Sam.
Really? That is very...
Yeah.
That was a smart move.
He's brilliant.
It is. I want to take a question from Janny Talley on Twitter. As a fellow teacher, I noticed some of your teaching skills in the Big Brother house. Have you used any of your Big Brother skills while teaching now?
Oh my gosh. I said to one student today, I'm like, what are you doing? I see you. I've been watching people for 3 months.
You are bringing Big Brother into the classroom.
Yes.
You should be like, today we are not having a quiz. We are going to have a power veto competition.
Oh, well, apparently my students, they ran their own like Big Brother. Like they had evictions, like, and they ran it themselves.
Really?
Yes, they had it all organized. I was very impressed with like the structure when they described it to me. I was like, wow, ladies, that's awesome.
That is. Melanie, as a follow-up, wants to know, so what did your students have to say about you being on the show? Were they thrilled that their teacher was on the show?
The first student that I ran into when I was home, I was getting a smoothie and he was working at the spot where I got it. And he ran out and the first thing he said to me, he goes, oh, madame, he goes, I am so proud that you got on Big Brother. So and really that just immunizes everything that's been in this town. I've so much support.
And is that a good student?
Oh, I love him.
Oh, because I was going to say, if he was a bad student, BB Boston had a good idea, and you could have went, oh, that is sweet, but now you're on slop for not doing your homework.
Oh, so many kids asked me what slop was.
It's oatmeal. See, that was me as a student, because I'm not, I have such a bad memory. I did I have ADHD, so I did horribly in school, so I just knew that I had to make the teachers like me. So I'd always be like, hi, how are you doing today? Oh, so great. And I'm going to go sit down and be a good student because I'm dumb, but I'm just going to be real nice to you.
It's a game. School's a game.
It worked for me. It worked for me. During your exit interviews, this is from Courtney J. During your exit interviews, you said you figured Anthony wasn't in the guys' alliance. What did you think about it starting night 1?
So, what did I think about this alliance?
I guess. I'm kind of confused by the second part of her question, but go ahead.
So, I was Team Anthony. I was running on a high from leaving how I did. And all of my interviews were done immediately.
Right.
after I was evicted,
Uh-huh.
as opposed to like time to process.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take in half of my
Right.
goodbye messages because I was just seeing black dots.
Right. Right.
um, so I'm gonna say I honestly didn't think that he was in it because I thought he was loyal to me. Because how
Oh,
he, yeah,
yeah, because you could, right. I get it now. She's saying, like, at the time of your eviction. So, yeah, obviously, you didn't know anything yet. You hadn't gone
yeah,
into jury house. You wouldn't have known.
yeah.
If you had the opportunity, would you have gone to the final two with Anthony, even if you thought he could have beaten you?
Yes, I would have taken Anthony. I would have.
We have to get you ready for when you play again.
Because the thing is if he was loyal to me, like right to the end, and cause he, when I watched a couple episodes, he did fight for me. He really did.
Yes.
He
Sure.
fought, and I think that if I were in the end there,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he would have taken me.
Okay, now you know Big Brother. He fought for you because it was good for his game. It wasn't like he was fighting for you and throwing himself on the sword. Fighting for you was good for his game. Now, we're gonna need you to take the person you know you can beat when you play again. It's $100,000. You can buy some nice lunches together after, and then become friends. Loyalty is out the window at Final 3, Cory. We want to win. We want you to win.
So I got to say, would I take him? Is that what
Well, I mean, you kind of did. You said you would take him.
Yeah, because I think that's how. I think just for my own moral compass. Like I feel like if I went, and honestly, if I made it to the end, I would have played a better game than Anthony.
Yeah, true, because you
with all of the uphill battles that I had to go with. Obviously, my social game, did come into play. Right? It wasn't just Anthony that kept me in the house. Like I wasn't shown too much on the episodes, like in the first couple weeks, but I was doing some mad social game there. I was really building relationships, so I wasn't the number one target anymore. Right?
Yeah, I think everybody here watching you live right now 100% knows that. I think the people that are still like loving these interviews, just like these are all the live feeders. These are all the people who know you played the game. They were watching you on the live feed. So these people, anybody watching this, yes, 100%. We agree. I don't love it on it. I like watching the live feeds. I just watch the show because, it's on and we have to support the show. That's what keeps it on. Yeah. But yeah, we all know that the feeds are where everything actually happens.
Yeah.
Going back to BB Boston for her real question now, not her slap comment. She wants to know, what do you think is your biggest achievement in the game and what is your biggest regret in the game?
Biggest success, I think honestly was getting those final those final 2-3 deals there. Like I'm super proud of that, and not having them ever come back and bite me in the ass. Really.
Yeah, nobody really seemed to care. Nobody that didn't really bother anybody that you did that. What would you say is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret was not following through on really going for Dane in my HOH, honestly.
Right.
Yeah. Because the thing is if I had still gone for Dane, there's a good chance that I probably still would have been out at the same time in the game, because it would have come for me the week after anyway. But I feel like I would have felt better about my game. Yeah.
Melanie wants to know, you said earlier on that, you were going around to kind of find out with like the Sam situation and who wanted to, back to you going around to try and find the information. But Melanie says, what made you trust Anthony so much that you never went behind to kind of fact check him or see if he was telling the truth? Or do you feel that you did?
Well, with Anthony, because they had the boys, and that's what they did beautifully in this game, is that when they came up with the story, they had 4 people saying the exact same thing, right?
Right.
So quite often, like everything that Anthony would say, Dane would say too. And again, too, that's when I was working closer with them. But I guess Anthony told me to bring Dane in, so I guess that would make sense.
Yes.
I don't, honestly, Anthony was one of the people that, like, when I came in the house, I was quite vulnerable.
Uh-huh.
And not a lot of people really extended full trust out to me.
Uh-huh.
They would give me some information sometimes, but it was more so to play around with me, like a cat with a toy.
Right.
And Anthony was one of the first people to really, bring me in. And I think I appreciated that.
Right. And I think that we get it. And I think that we got that looking at it. Michelle M wants to know, were you honest in wanting to work with Sam and Adam? Like, obviously we know that changed for you at a point, but had, let's say, Anthony not been in your ear, would you have been willing to work with Sam and Adam?
I
Michelle,
would have.
You would have done it.
I would have for sure. But it's Sam was already like close with other people, and so at the beginning of the game she kept saying to me, and Adam too, they're like, it would be nice if like we could work together, but there wasn't anything, they didn't give me any piece of information that like they wanted to trust me with. It was very vague conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'd watch them, make really strong bonds with other people and then we're doing it with me,
right,
I was just a little hesitant to just kind of throw myself to them because they were very powerful in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
Kathleen P says, speaking of your final 2 deals that you had to make in the beginning of the game, did any of them find out about the others? So did that ever come out? Did any of them find out about the other final 2 deals?
It never came out, like, to me, and I don't think, like, to the entire house, I don't think, but I know that Kaylin and Eddie, I heard after the fact that they did talk to each other about it.
Really? Kaylin
and
Eddie. Well, hopefully we're gonna have them on later this week, and we can find that out. Now, I think a lot of people kind of want to know this as well, and have asked it in different ways, how your voting would have went in different scenarios. So let's say it was Adam and Dane in the final 2, who would have gotten your vote?
Adam.
It would have been Adam.
Yeah.
What if it was... Well, is there any way that Kira could have gotten your vote? Nobody that Kira could have sat next to get your vote?
Kira would have had to done, like, with the game that Kira had played.
I mean, she would have had to make it there. So keep in mind, that means they would have had to have won the final 3 competitions. But would that have been enough for you to give them your vote?
They would have got, this is the scenario I played out. They would have got my vote if they won the final, like the final 5 HOH, which they did.
Okay.
Which they did. And then got out a big player like Adam. And then just annihilated them in the final 3, basically saying, this was all for show, guys. Me falling off the balance beam, I'm actually really good at balance beams. Like something like that.
Okay.
And said, it's all for show right to the end. And then basically wanted to, like, said to Dane, I want to bring you here so I could cut you.
Okay.
Like, so if it was that, like, if it was badass like that, oh yeah, Kira would have got my vote.
Okay, so, and let's say now it was not like that, and it is just Kira versus Anthony. Anthony gets your vote?
Yes.
Anthony versus Adam. Adam gets your vote.
Adam gets my vote.
Okay, got it. How did you decide what to say in your speech on eviction night when you were on the block? What were you trying to accomplish with it?
Well, I was just angry with Adam and Kira.
That's fine.
And so, yeah, when I was campaigning, it was obvious I was not getting their votes, and they're making it well known that I was not getting their votes.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Whatever. So I said I might as well go out with a little flair. And a lot of the time, like, and at this point, I still believed that Sam was lying and
Right.
Sam had been manipulating. And at one point, Sam did admit this to me, is that they were willing to pin it on Kira if
Mm-hmm.
the backdoor thing went awry.
Yep.
And that was true. And so I thought, like, you're still fighting for someone who was willing to, like, throw you under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
Yeah.
so that's why I'm like, you're weak minded. But
Yeah.
obviously I was wrong, which
Right.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with. And then at that point, I knew Dane was voting me out.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
knew he was. So I just wanted to cut a little.
Would you have used the assassin power? Melanie S wants to know, would you have used the assassin power had you gotten it? And if so, who would you have nominated?
If I had gotten the assassin
Right.
power, I'm just trying to think of how that week had played out.
I forget who.
Well, I mean, like, relationship wise, because even after I got Sam,
Right.
like, I still thought Adam wasn't completely against me, but I'm just kind of thinking about how. Yeah, I probably would put Adam up.
Yeah, I think you would have probably put Adam up too, I feel like, in that time. Do you, Kayla wants to know, do you wish you had teamed up with a comp beast in the game? Which I make that face because I'm like, oh, isn't Anthony a comp beast? I don't know why. I always keep forgetting he did not win anything this season.
Nothing. I kept telling him all the time, I'm like, I'm carrying you, Anthony.
Uh-huh.
Although, mind you, I only won 2 competitions. So it's not like I won a crazy amount or anything.
That's still better than winning none. And were you surprised that Dane allowed Anthony to go to that final 2 spot, never have been nominated? Bless you.
Oh, excuse me. No, I don't. No, I'm not surprised that he did that.
Okay.
Because he knew he was going to beat Anthony.
Destiny's wants to know, what is your relationship like with Anthony now?
Oh, it's great.
It is great. So you're still talking to him now outside. You're still talking to him now outside of the house. Everything's good. Great. Kimberly Ann wants to know, did you really have typewriters in high school? A lot of buzz was going on Twitter when you mentioned it on the feeds.
That's why people thought I was 40.
I don't think that just because of typewriters.
Well, apparently that was a driving force.
Really? So, I mean, I missed this moment. Was that high school or
elementary? High school. Yeah, we had typewriters and we had typing class. And I mean, I think they were gone not too long after I left. But I mean, yeah, we had typewriters. I mean, it's now a computer lab, if that makes you feel better.
Right. Like, my senior year of high school is when we got the computer lab.
Yeah.
And I think I had typewriters before that, too. Because I remember the big thing. My senior was like, oh, we have a computer lab. And it was like the big, giant, square monitor.
Yeah.
And some nun teaching you how to type.
Well, and I mean, we had computers in the school, but I don't think we didn't have enough computers to fill every room. So why get rid of the typewriters if you can teach typing class?
This is all coming back to me now. I remember that I was like the big shot because I would do my reports on a computer and everyone else was still doing them on a typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, though, how lucky are these young people? They never have to know about a typewriter. And remember, like, the whiteout button when you had to, like, use the whiteout button to go back?
And it never worked.
You, like, ungrateful little bastard. It's going to start yelling at children. That's how you know when you're, like, start getting older. You're like, kids. Darn so these funny. Kids. Sparkly Eye. No, not Sparkly Eye. Becca wants to know, who is your favorite house guest from BBUS?
BBUS.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, do you know who I thought it was hilarious? Was I can't think of his name, but the dentist.
Johnny Mac.
Yeah,
You love a Johnny Mac.
I thought he was so funny.
You should come to the New York City premiere party. He's always there. He is very funny.
Yeah,
That's
and I feel like we'd have similar like humor because he's like highly intelligent. So like I feel like we would. Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I'm almost short circuiting a little bit because I'm like, wow, you're right. You would probably be a lot like Johnny Mac. Who's your favorite BB Canada player?
Player
Yes.
like how we played. I'm a big
Sparkly,
fan
I
of
once
Dre.
said that. Oh,
I
I'm
love
sorry.
Dre.
Oh,
Dre?
really?
Yeah, I love Dre.
Interest. She's gonna turn up.
Yeah. It's just because she was very, I don't know, she said what she was thinking. I don't know. I felt like she was very real and I liked her energy.
Don't get me wrong. I love her as well. I just don't think in all the people I've ever asked that question to that I have ever had Dre be an answer.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I just really enjoyed watching her.
Yeah.
She's very entertaining.
Melissa Gigeru said Cory's gonna be Johnny Mac's Canadian Becky. Remember Becky from that season? We was on the season with Johnny Mac. She was like the red hair. It doesn't matter. Courtney J wants to know, is there anybody that you won't keep in touch with from your season? Or for you, is it all good?
Oh, it's all good. I mean, this is a game. It really is.
Okay. Diane BB Feeds fan wants to know, is there any what was your favorite competition that you got to play in?
Favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I gotta say, the Wendy's one was really fun. That one was fun.
Okay, so Wendy's won.
I'm mad I didn't win that.
Okay. And Courtney wants to know, how much do you love Nailed It? Because you were apparently posting about it on Instagram. Also, one of my favorite shows, Cory.
I sit alone with my cat, drinking my glass of milk. Right?
Right?
Watching Nailed It. It's like one of my favorite activities.
Fun fact, when I read that question from Courtney, I didn't have enough time before. I was so trying to get the Nailed It graphic so that after you asked a question, I could have just dropped down Nailed It on top of you. But I was like, oh, I can't find it quick enough. Isn't it so great? Are you caught up on the new season yet?
No, I'm just trying to get back into life. I'm not caught up on anything.
Oh, well, just get ready. The new season is great. All right, I want to get to like your final 3 questions. Is the would you ever do? This is kind of one question. Would you ever do Amazing Race?
Oh yeah, hands down, I would do that. I feel like that game's more built for me than Big Brother.
Really? Who would you want to do it with?
Dane. I do it with Dane, and we talked about it. We've talked about it a bunch.
Really? Okay, interesting. Would you do Survivor?
No. Probably.
No? I don't blame you.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Depending on where I'm at in my life.
Okay. I want to say, would you do Nailed It?
Oh, yeah. I burn water.
I'm friends with the person who casts for it. The challenge. Are you aware of the MTV's The Challenge? Have you seen any of that? Are you aware of that show?
No.
Don't worry about it. Is there anything that you wish you had the answer to? So like I said, you have tons of live feed watchers here and people that are, watch the feeds 24/7. Is there anything from the game that you're like, ooh, I wish I had more clarification on what really happened in this moment? It's okay if you don't have a question, but I feel like I should ask people this ahead of time instead of springing it on them. But and it's okay if you don't have any anything, but is there anything on the top of your head that you wish, I wish I had more info on that scenario?
Oh, at the top of my head, this is really hard. I would want to know how early were the pretty boys really gunning for me? How early in the game?
Chat, because this involves a time scenario. Chat, how early? Okay, Becca is saying week 2.
Oh my God.
It seems like right away, week 2, immediately. So, pretty much always. Let's go with pretty much. I see a lot more people are saying week 2, and then a lot of people are saying right away. So I would say anywhere from instantly to week 2 is when.
Well, and I came in week 2. That was my week.
Right. So that would have been your instantly. Well, I mean. Okay. Sure, you came in week 2. Sure, it was week 2. Final question from our town wants to know, is there anything that you learned about yourself coming out of this Big Brother experience that you didn't know about yourself before you started playing this game?
I was very self-aware. With my ability to handle stressful situations and working with people and conversing with people. And I was very confident in that skill. But coming out of this game, I realized that I am not superhuman at that skill.
That you are not a superhuman.
I'm always very good at conversing with people, and that because that's what I do in my job. I do it all the time. I give lots of presentations and stuff in my masters and all that stuff. But coming into this game, it just took me to a whole other level, and I wasn't at the level as some people in the game. I wasn't.
Right. Well,
it's okay.
It is okay. And in spite of all of that, you still have tons of people that love you, Cory. You have hundreds of people here watching you live now. You have thousands of people that will be watching this back later. So I hate to put you on the spot again, but I want to give you full screen to say whatever it is you want to say to all of your fans. But first, let me say, I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties, everyone. I hope that this all comes together brilliantly in the edited version, and you are all none the wiser. But if you want to see more of our edited shows or all of our shows, you can check them out at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. Of course, while you're on our website, you can see all of our content from all the shows that we cover over there. Of course, you could watch us do them live if you become a fan on YouNow. It's completely free to become a fan. You get alerted when we go live. You can hang out in the chat. You can ask your questions. And of course, we're covering Amazing Race on Thursdays, John's cooking shows, and reality TV. He cooks and talks reality TV on Tuesdays. Mondays is Drag Race. We have Big Brother 21 coming up, so make sure you guys get the feeds from us, yourrealityrecaps.com/feeds, if you haven't yet. If you want to support us for free, thumbs up and subscribe, hit that bell, leave a like, leave a comment below on YouTube. That is a great way to help support our shows. 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes is great too. Of course, if you want to help financially support our shows, consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows, and of course, the after shows with the house guests. Or you could do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, start at yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. You don't pay any more, we get a little bit back, and it really helps to support the shows as well. Or you can click on the Amazon ad in the sidebar or any of the ads around our website. Or if you like late night gaming, check us out over on Twitch. We are always doing Fortnite or something fun over there. I'm not sure who the next house guest is, but by the time you guys are seeing this, we'll already have it scheduled, so it doesn't matter. I just want to say, as we're coming to the end of doing all of these shows, I really appreciate all your guys' support. We hope you will continue to support us, becoming a patron, PayPal, subscriber on YouNow. All great ways to financially help support our shows so that we can keep bringing content like this to you guys every day during BB21, as well as the Trash Draft game, 24/7 live feed updates, flashback time shows, blogs, recaps, podcasts, and more. We could not do it without your support, so thank you for those who have supported us, and hopefully more of you will want to support too. That being said, what do you want to say, Cory, to the people who have been supporting you all season long?
I want to say thank you so much to everybody that supported me throughout this entire journey. It would be very, very hard to do alone, and honestly, I feel like that you guys are now just a part of me, and so when I think of this experience, it's not necessarily what I did in the game, but it's how you guys made me feel coming out of this game. So I love you.
Oh, I love that. Now, I know you said that you're not big on social media, but where can people find you on social media? Do you plan on using something more than something else?
I have the Instagram. Mm-hmm. It's at Cory Kath Kennedy.
Okay.
So yeah, so just part of my middle name in there. So Cory Kath Kennedy on Instagram. Follow that. It's an open profile, and I post little videos like me watching Nailed It with my cat.
Now, you know you also have a Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
It's right above you. Cory BBCan7. Somebody in your family has that password.
Oh, yeah. My sister has that. Sorry, the only reason I've used Twitter is to, like, share websites where I can get, like, scholarly reviewed articles, but I didn't.
Here's the thing. Either way, if you're not on Big Brother 8, you're going to want to talk about Big Brother 8, and where everybody talks about Big Brother is Twitter, so you're going to want that password.
Okay, I will get that password.
And I'm going to check out your Instagram. I'm going to say thank you so much. Of course, I will put the links to Cory's socials below this version, on the edited version of this show, so make sure you check that out. Thank you on behalf of everyone for coming out and taking time to talk to your fans, Cory.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations, Becca, on being the #1 fan.
Woo!
And patrons, we will see you over in the patron group in about 2 minutes. I will see all of you guys back here tomorrow night. I'm not sure who it's going to be with. It'll probably be a surprise. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.